in the areas of your life that need all of this extra energy, like your marriage, your relationship, your parenting, your job, or anything else, your dreams for the future, your relationship with God, nawawala yung energy na to dahil napupunta siya sa pagka-worry natin.
Exactamundo.
Hi, Langga.
This is Jared.
And this is Apple.
Welcome to the Langga Speaks podcast.
Join our beloved conversations
about God's love and joy. Hello everyone, welcome to the Langga Speaks podcast. This is me, Jared.
And this is Apple. Guess what, mga Langga? We're not recording on a Saturday night.
We don't need to update him on the time.
No, but we're recording on a Friday night. I'm just saying, masaya po kami kasi hindi kami...
Naging news outlet eh. But anyway...
No, but then if it's a news outlet, don't you do that? Magandang. Yeah, you know, I'm not even familiar with the reference, but
by the way,
you do it really well.
You have a shout out.
Yeah, you know what? We want to make a shout out to this one Instagram user who seems to be binging on our content since day one.
Evidently binging.
Yes. Si Raven na Sean.
Baka, yun ba talaga yung pangalan niya?
I don't know, but that's his Instagram handle.
Shout out sa'yo. Salamat for sharing our content.
Also for Wena, thank you for messaging us as well on Messenger for she's been binging on our content recently as well. And also sending us her feedback of what she thinks about each episode. And it really means a lot to Jarek and I.
Rowena, right?
Yes. So thank you so much for really reaching out to us and just, messaging us, letting us know what you guys think of how God has spoken to you through our content. Thank you so much.
We love it whenever you guys are engaging with us through IG, through FB, or especially through email.
True.
For longer ones at langgaspeaks@gmail.com.
We would love to hear from you. Anyways, yes, please continue.
So what is our topic for today?
Don't worry about a thing.
Oh, don't worry, Langga.
Every little thing. It's gonna be alright.
Yeah, hindi ko alam yan. Ang alam ko lang, don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy now. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Na na na. Na 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 na.
You know what? I don't know if you are, all of a sudden because he sang it, hindi ko alam kung naging uso to sa Pilipinas, but there was this time, nung bata kami, there was this fish na pwede mo siyang bilhan. It's fake, okay? Tapos naka-mount siya sa isang frame. Tapos, if you press a button or nasa-sense ka niya, it will...
Takot naman.
Para siyang salmon.
Parang wala kaming ganyan.
Para siyang salmon. Tapos it will turn halfway sa katawan.
Nakakatakot naman yan.
And then it will sing.
Alam ko meron yung ganyan talaga, tatapon ko yan. Naalala mo yung...
Ipiprito na lang niya.
Naalala mo yung
huwag mo i-mention. Alam ko yung sabihin mo. Iba na lang yung kakati natin. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Ayoko talaga yung mga tumutunog ng out of nowhere.
Hakuna Matata.
Meron ding stuffed toy. May stuffed toy din na.
Tama na pa, diba? It means no worries for the rest of your day. So,
okay,
ano ba talaga yung outline?
You just wasted the whole thing about it.
Baka waste ka. Kasi hindi na talaga ako kakanta ever.
Hindi,
total waste lang naman siya. Bakit pa kasi ako nag-record? Total waste of your time lang pala.
No,
sorry Salamat na lang sa lahat. Thank you guys for joining us for the past 133 episodes.
Okay.
This is Apple
This
signing
episode
out.
is brought to you by that framed fish. Okay? So, Langga, ano pag-uusapan natin? Worry.
Ikaw kasi
Nagwo-worry kasi ako na. Mag-overtime na naman tayo. Mag-edit pa ako. Matutulog ka. Ikaw, manonood ka lang habang nag-edit ako.
Bakit? Raining.
Nagwo-worry ako baka gumising yung dalawa.
Huh?
Kasi pag gumising dalawa, back to zero na naman tayo.
Uy, lately talaga yung kanina talaga yung pinapanood ko sa YouTube kasi may sinend ka sa akin.
Alin?
Maya bad boy. Bad boy.
Kasi magpupunta dito si Rain to have a concert. Akala ko yung sinend ko sa'yo yung gusto ka nang magwita. Ang gulo nung episode na to. Anyway, mga Langga, we're gonna talk about worrying. And like you all know naman, super daling kasi mag-worry. Parang walang effort, di ba? Automatic, mag-worry ka agad. Ako, nag-worry agad ako ngayon na pupuyat na naman kami and everything.
Wala naman tayong pasok bukas. Bakit ba? Sulitin na natin. As opposed
Wala
to
tayong
Sunday.
pasok, pero yung mga anak natin, parang may pasok, napakaagang gumising.
Totoo.
Yun ang sinasabi ko. But again, when it comes to worrying, it's essential to move away from it. Kasi nga, if you're not gonna move away from it, it's so easy to be affected, so easy to be down-spirited by all of this worry. Sabi nga nila, worry is like praying for something you do not want to happen.
Alam mo, there's something I first heard from you when we were friends. And to be honest, it was something that was really life-changing for me.
Wow. Etong quote na to?
Oo, kasi parang hindi ko naisip na worrying is also a form of prayer, but not really a prayer that you would want to pray, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times...
I mean, the same mentality,
same intensity.
It's like praying.
Paulit-ulit kasi siya. And the thing about worrying is that it prevents us from living life fully. Na-share ko to sa previous, a couple of weeks ago, yung kinonvert mo yung isang talk na binigay ko sa Jewels. Na-share ko siya.
Overcoming anxieties.
Na-experience ko siya yung tipong how the anxiety, how the worry really rendered me immobile. I was unable to function completely.
Properly.
And that was the problem when the pandemic first hit. I was caught up in this whole wave of anxiety that it stopped me from truly experiencing the richness of the moment of being with my family, of being with God. I was so consumed by anxiety at the time.
Exactly. There is a reason why Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6 verse 27, can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? I mean, si Jesus, pag nagwo-worry ba kayo, madadagdagan yung oras nyo?
True.
Madadagdagan ba yung sweldo nyo pag nagwo-worry kayo? Habang nakikita ko yung mga
Nadagdagan.
kasampay ngayon, nagwo-worry ba ako na hindi mo matatapos yung tiklupin ngayon?
Di ba nag-worry ka talaga? Kaya ka naman gawin yan. But then, yung na-add actually is na-add pa yung stress, na-add pa yung mga wrinkles. Speaking of wrinkles, I realized, goodness, I'm approaching mid-30s kaya dumadami yung mga wrinkles ko.
Wow.
But the reality is, yes, we do worry. Minsan, naging instinct na eh. It's a default thing for us to fall on. But it really accomplishes nothing. Our time gets used up. Our effort gets used up. Our energy gets used up. But it distracts us from finding a solution how to be able to move on or to move forward from our current situation. And most likely, the worst case scenarios that we overthink in our mind in any situation, these are highly likely never to happen pa,
Exactly. Ako, ang dami kong wino-worry. Approve ba to ni Apple? Sa tingin ba niya magiging beneficial sa amin to ipopropose ko? Pero marami doon, hindi naman nangyayaring worst case scenario.
Kasi
ang nangyayari, nangyayari best case scenario. Kaya ngayon mga langga, I worry less. You know? Because I know my self-worth. Alam ko na minsan ang dami ko senaryo na ano kaya iisipin niya? Ano iisipin kaya niya ganito? Pag hindi ko sinabi sa kanya, ano kaya iisipin niya? Pero all of that, most of it, like around 80%, di naman nangyayari.
Talaga? Parang feeling ko kasi 80% yung nangyayari, 20% yung hindi.
Grabe ka naman.
Yung nangyayari sa 20% na napopostpone lang ng ilang buwan.
Oo, nakalagay save for later. Again, mga langga, at its very worst kasi, worry can turn you into a destructive person before you even realize that it's happening.
True.
Minsan yung mga warrior, yan yung hindi nakakaalam na warrior sila or in denial na sila yung warrior. And when this happens, if this persists...
Hindi ko kayang tanggapin. Mga ganyan.
Exactly. When this continues to persist, it can become a toxic thing to the people around you, especially for the people that you love. If you're not worry about this, if you're not aware that this is happening. That's why in this episode
we're going to be taking a couple of things or a couple of ways how worry can be harmful to your relationship. So we're going to be taking this from our Simbis mentors and sharing this with you in today's episode. If you haven't heard of Simbis, which is saving your marriage before it starts, please do check out our website,
langgaspeaks.com/Simbis.
Magsi-CTA na nga lang, mali-mali pa, letra na nga lang.
Akala ko symbiosis eh.
Symbiosis. Symbiote. Langgaspeaks.com/LANGGA.
Kita mo. Langaspeaks.com/symbis, which is
SYMBIS. That's
SYMBIS.
Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. Jeric and I are certified Catholic facilitators for this. So, number 1, worry distracts. You siguro worried tayo kasi distracted tayo.
Nadidistract nga ako, oo. Kasi syempre, ang mundo natin, punong-puno ng distraction yan. From social media pa lang, from kung anong bibili na ulam, from groceries that never happens, like, syempre, magtatawag yung grocery na, "Ma'am, we don't have stock." So, you're di ba? Pinapaasa ka.
The product you have requested for is about to be replaced.
Yan.
Please choose a replacement.
Especially pagka napili mo na yung tamang bulalo part, tapos hindi pala available. Yan.
Sakit.
Distraction ka, distracted ka na.
Kinain na lang.
Exactly.
Toyo at...
Pero again, kung punong-puno na distraction ang buhay natin, why would you even add another distraction to your life by worrying? Kasi pag nagwo-worry ka, you do add a distraction to your life.
And the problem with distractions is you are unable to place your energy in the places where it matters, in the places, in the areas of your life that need all of this extra energy, like your marriage, your relationship, your parenting, your job, or anything else, your dreams for the future, your relationship with God. Nawawala yung energy na to dahil napupunta siya sa pagka-worry natin.
Exactamundo. Kasi nga yung negative thoughts, yung mga feelings na yun, it will draw you like a magnet, and you'll spend so much time in thinking so much that you will neglect the truly important things before you.
So, like with anything else, what you focus on grows. And if you focus on worry, that's what's gonna overtake your life.
Yeah, hindi yan mababawasan. Pag lalo ka nag-worry, dadagdag pa lalo yung worry.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
So, that's number 1. Worry distracts you. Number 2.
Harmful yan sa relasyon, Langga. Number 1. Worry distracts you. Number 2 is worry distances you. Nilalayo ka. Kasi while you're busy, staying distracted by your worries, makikita mo rin yung sarili mo, you're doing 2 more destructive things. And these 2 things are withdrawing and ruminating. Ruminating is a new word. RUMINATING. At least for my vocabulary.
Medyo naano ako dun na. But anyways.
Kasi we don't use ruminating.
Ruminating?
Like, you never ask me, like, Langga, anong ginagawa mo? I'm just ruminating. It's not something na common na naririnig natin.
Like Joseph and Tilly right now, they're in the room, so they're ruminating.
And speaking of vocabulary, kanina napahiya ako sa anak natin.
Grabe.
Yeah, we were watching, ano ba yan?
Lion Guard.
The Lion Guard, yeah. So
although it's quite advanced for him,
he was so excited to tell me, because he watched it already, like that particular episode. So he's so excited to, pinangungunahan niya ako na, Tatay, this particular hippo, this, what is the fastest? I told him, Joseph, slow down. You don't need to tell me because I'm watching with you. I want to hear what they're saying, because I couldn't hear because he's speaking louder than the TV. And then he said like, "Oh, you mean to stop spoiling?" I'm like, where did you learn the spoiling? And he told me that I told him that. I can't remember. So basically, you're telling me I'm trying to...
I think it was when you were letting them watch together.
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain to him the word spoiling. So napahiya ako kasi yun nga naman, one word lang yun, spoiling. So it's like this ruminating. So again, what are these 2 things na destructive din?
Well, when you're chronically worried, yung paulit-ulit na lang, you'll withdraw into yourself kasi nagiging internal na yung vision mo. And although we have spoken before about looking into yourself, this is a completely different ball game. This is something with just being consumed by this one particular aspect in yourself, and you spend more time in your own mind than interacting with others or even interacting with your langga. Right? Mm-hmm. And it becomes obvious. Nakikita natin do when someone is entering na into this withdrawal symptom. Yung they send the wrong signals, and whenever they can feel it.
Parang lutang ka.
Exactly.
Parang, who are you?
You're so detached. You're so disinterested. Or maybe palagi siyang galit, always angry with everything.
Parang ako yan. Di ba minsan may mga mood akong ganyan, yung parang, ba't ka naiinis? Pero gutom lang talaga ako nun.
Oo.
So, I'm basically withdrawing from hunger. So, it shows really that you are really worried, and that is withdrawal. But the other word is ruminating, which is
Ruminating
a new word
is
for me.
when you spend a lot of time dwelling on a particular subject. But from you're meditating, this is probably...
Iba rin to sa pagiging immersed.
Yes, this is something different because what happens is ruminating, you tend to, yung paikot-ikot na lang, you just keep on getting stuck in a downward spiral in this particular topic or particular idea. And the problem is, it's usually negative.
I think we have encountered people like this na no matter what kind of advice you give them, they will go back to the problem that they are seeking consolation from or seeking advice from. Parang, wait, kakasabi ko lang kung ano yung dapat mong gawin.
Kakahingi mo lang
ng advice eh. Are you not hearing me? Usually, ganyan yung mga taong ruminating.
And the problem is, one of the consequences of this, when you enter into this cycle of ruminating, you will ask other people for advice, you will ask your beloved ones for help, but then you won't take their advice because you're just so focused on what you can do. In the end, the people who you, and then babalik-balik ka ulit asking for help, but they will see that there is no effect. In the end, mapapagod din sila sa yung pagtutulong sa'yo. They will get sick and tired of helping you out as well.
I mean, ang daming ganyan na parang, dude, I just told you that. I just told you already what to do. Bakit ginawa mo pa rin? Paulit-ulit pa rin tayo sa topic na to. Mga friends na ruminating, no? Another definition, what I was trying to say earlier is, another definition of it is the tendency to focus passively and repetitively on one's symptoms of depression without taking action to relieve them. Usually kasi, meron mga taong identity na nila yung pain. So, whenever there is a chance to relieve that pain, they don't want to let go of it because it's something that is familiar.
Exactly.
Something that they take comfort na. I mean, it's the paradox.
That's
it's painful, but then that's where they find their identity.
Of course, we're not disclaimer. Of course, we're not dismissing.
Of course, naman.
Cases of depression and of mental, yung mga mental problems and mental issues like that. But you do come across individuals who are so anchored on this identity they've created that they're constantly in pain, that they celebrate, although not...
They take pride on
They
that pain.
take pride in the fact that they are hurting and that there is still no healing and that the wound is still open. And yet you wonder why they're not taking any move to have that healed. Maybe because sometimes, even though it's painful, because it's familiar, the idea of being healed and of celebrating a victory of it being closed is more scary, right? It's more challenging for you to overcome that barrier, for you to try something new, which is to experience life without that pain.
Exactly. So, when you do communicate with your langga, alam mo yung worry na ganyan, yung ruminating and withdrawing, this chronic worry will dictate yung mga conversations na meron ka sa langga mo.
True.
Makikita mo yan, madidetect mo yan on how you talk to them. Kasi minsan, hindi naman tayo open to receiving feedback eh. So, you will see that it is dictated by, dominated by rumination. This will bring your loved ones or your langga down. Mas madidemotivate silang kausapin ka.
True.
Because now, pag minsan kasi magtataka ka, ba't kaya nila yun na lang kausapin? Maybe because you are ruminating and withdrawing, or you're ruminating in general, kasi paulit-ulit lang yung negativity na pinag-uusapan nyo. So instead of you being a life-giving one, or someone who brings people up, you're bringing them down. You're demotivating them. You don't speak life to them
anymore.
So that's one of the symptoms of it, that you have to be aware.
That's number 2. Number 3, worry. One of the negative consequences of worry as well is it destroys trust. And that naman kasi when you're over and above na the worry levels, it leads us to also be suspicious on those around you. You feel that those who are supposed to be helping you, because of your worry, they don't understand you. They're not there for you. And what happens is the trust that you had built with them will easily become damaged. And sometimes, or more than not, these are usually without reason or without cause. It's just purely because you are worrying.
Nadududa ka, nagsususpect ka na baka may tinatago siguro to sa akin. And at the same time, pag super worry ka, katulad mo Langga, when you were in that mode, I feel that I am not capable of being your husband. Parang, bakit ka nag-worry to ng sobra? Wala ba ako dito? Di ba, I always reassure you na, hindi ka naman mag-isa eh. Especially during the earlier stages of our marriage. Grabe, mga earlier, 5 years pa lang naman tayo. But anyway, I think in the first two, 3 years, first 2-3 years, you are in this mode of whenever we go through a difficult time, you will worry so much that you will withdraw. I can see you withdrawing from me. And then when I talk to you about it, ang sabi mo sa akin is, because ayaw mo lang ako madamay. You don't want to be an additional burden. But then, that kind of worrying puts me in a position that as if I am not someone who can help you.
Or someone that I can depend on.
Yeah, or someone that you can be open to. So, it damages trust in that way. Worry can develop a mind of its own if it's not handled properly. So, yung mga good sense mo, yung mga good intentions mo, nagiging, natitwist siya into something horrifying, worst case scenarios, beyond your imagination. You're trying to exaggerate
exactly
the
and
problems.
What happens is it has this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy that the worst case scenarios that you've been dreading, it takes place because you were the one who built the foundation for it to take place anyways, right?
Exactly.
So, and usually, especially if you're in a relationship, the worry that we bring into the relationship, this extra baggage we bring, involves our langga. And instead of breathing life into that relationship,
you suck the life out of it.
Exactly.
Parasite. So again, mga langga, if you're not careful or mindful about this, yung mga imaginations na yan, like any imagination, it can go wild. And those scenarios can include on the scene yung mga mahal mo sa buhay.
True.
Especially your langga.
That's
Isasama mo na siya, magdududa ka na, magfo-formulate ka, nagiging praninggela ka na.
Praninggela?
Mahilig sa Pringles, praninggela.
Once you papi can't stop,
yeah.
right?
Galing mo
Thanks.
Galing mo sumalo ng punchline. Yung actually gusto kong sabihin pero nagets mo sa pamamagitan ng ating telepathy.
And seryoso na nga kanina tapos okay. But yeah, so that's number 3. Worry damages trust. Now the last one, number 4, the problem with worry is that it disrupts intimacy.
Into me, I see.
Especially in a relationship where this is one of the major things, if not the main thing that you're trying to foster with your partner. Ultimately, worry, when one of you worries constantly, the intimacy that you're trying to develop, the intimacy that you're trying to grow with one another gets disrupted. So what happens is that yung mga na-mention namin nung una, distraction, the withdrawal, the rumination, the mistrust with one another, then finally the pinnacle
or the pinnacle?
The dapat pinaka pillar yung sasabihin ko, yung the pinaka foundation, man. The foundation of your relationship is the intimacy on which your relationship should be growing. That gets broken down bit by bit.
Yung ganon, the marriage or the journey becomes dysfunctional. Tapos nawawalan na talaga ng intimacy because, if you have dysfunctional intimacy in your relationship, you won't be able to handle life's challenges. It's so hard to handle. When a tiny challenge, mapamalaki o mabigat, or maliit man yan, it's so hard to handle without the proper intimacy. Because again, as we've discussed in our previous episodes, intimacy in a relationship is a feeling of being close and emotionally connected and supported to another person. Kung dysfunctional yon, then what's left? Wala na kayong defensive line when the troubles of life come. And they will come. Unfortunately.
That's right. But then, okay, fine. So you're listening. You've been with us for the past 20 minutes. And you recognize these traits in yourself to be a chronic
Oh my
warrior.
gosh, I'm worrying. I'm this person.
So what do you do?
So what do you do?
Well, the first thing to know is that believe and know that there is hope. There is hope for people like us, for warriors like me. You know, there's a Saint Francis de Sales, and what he said is that in this war we are always victorious, provided that we are willing to fight.
Yes, that the victory in our faith, in our walk in life, our faith says that the victory is not actually in overcoming our struggles in worrying. Kasi maaaring hinisip, wala na akong pag-asa kasi lagi ako nagwo-worry. You know, the victory lies in not giving up and recognizing that. You know, we have to be able to be open to one another and at the same time to recognize that we are struggling. Kanina may pinost ako I think it's by another saint, that a saint is someone who struggles but doesn't give up. Something around those lines.
I think it's very hard to find a saint who never struggled, right? And yet we look up to them because of the life that they led, that despite the struggle, in spite of the struggle, in fact, the struggle helped them to become who they are.
Exactly. I mean, I posted this in Langga Speaks of the Record. So if you're not yet a member of our exclusive, exclusive Facebook group where we do a lot of memes. Actually, yun na lang puro yung mga post ng memes doon.
Oo nga, bakit yung mga miyembro doon hindi nagpo-post? Magparamdam naman kayo ng konti.
Oo. Kasi actually yung mga nag-FB matatanda. Yung mga kabataan nandun na sa TikTok,
nasa Instagram,
nasa Reddit. You know? So yung mga naiiwan sa Facebook group, usually malabo na yung mata.
You're mean.
Or tinatamad na. Or actually, lately kasi very hindi organic ang reach ng Facebook unless you really pay for it. But if you want to be part of that group, please do visit us on Langga Speaks Off the Record. We do post additional content there, kulitan and everything. You can ask questions for other members. I think we're around 1,400 now. Not entirely sure about that.
If you are part of this group, we would love to know if you are listening. Please do let us know on the group that you've listened to this particular episode, just so that we know we're reaching
ako
you.
lang nagpo-post minsan, madalas. Minsan may mga nagpo-post din naman, but lately the engagement there has been not stellar. But they're liking naman. Mahihiyain lang talaga yung mga langga.
Bakit ganun?
Mahiya yung mga like lang sa heart. But then again, going back to the post that I posted, it's actually from Saint Jose Maria Escriva. So he said that the struggle is the sign of holiness. A saint is a sinner that keeps trying. So mga langga, you are a saint. Kung nag-struggle ka with your worry, it's a good sign because you recognize that it's a struggle and you want to be better. So again, mga langga, I think what we can advise here is that we have to be open to helping in each other. And do not journey alone. Do not withdraw. Usually, we withdraw whenever we're worrying. We do not want to tell it to someone or our loved one because we're afraid to be judged or maybe we're afraid to be branded as weak.
Or exactly. Or sometimes they choose to even withdraw from God, right? Yun yung mahirap I mean, it's one thing if you feel that you're not yet able to speak to another person
about a certain struggle,
about a certain struggle just yet. But if you are also unable to talk to God about it, then we know that there's a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be more difficult when that happens. So the most important thing also is to journey with God first and foremost. Now that you mentioned that. Then katapos nun, allow your langga. If you have a langga, if you don't have a langga, your loved ones, allow your loved ones or someone that you trust to reassure you. And if needed, kailangan mo ding humingi ng professional help. If you're a chronic warrior, hindi mo ma-handle yung worry mo, na talagang nakakapraning na to the point na nadadamay na lahat.
I know very, very important people in my life who have taken that very brave step in seeking for help. And if anything, I honor them then kasi they recognize the need to be able to go beyond what they the resources that they normally have because they know that it is really a struggle.
I honor also yung mga nagsimbis sa atin. No? A lot of them were saying that they did seek professional help. A lot of them are also willing to seek Kasi hindi naman po kami professional
True.
when it comes to counseling. We can direct you to those people. But then I do honor people who are open because they know that by being better, they can bless better.
Exactly.
You know, so yung mga langga, hindi kahinaan ng paghingi ng tulong. So what do you think is the langga telling you today?
I think I shared the most out of this particular topic.
Because you really relate to this.
Yeah, a couple of episodes ago, a couple of weeks ago, if you guys check that episode out, hindi ko lang at the top of my head.
She speaks.
The recent She Speaks episode, I bared my heart there in my recent experience. Recent ba yun? Yung last year ba yun? Na I really felt that I was in like a rabbit hole of a downward spiral of anxiety, and it is really not something that I truly want to go back to. But I really thank God for opening my eyes to see the light, that there is still hope, that even in the darkest situations of my life. And if you're listening right now, Langga, and you feel that there really is no way that there could ever be light that could shine in this particular black hole, in this particular area of your life, then maybe you have a very small conception of the capability of the capacity of God to work miracles.
Amen.
If you allow yourself, yun nga, to have faith, ito nga, yung first step is to trust yourself to have faith that God can work miracles. Then
And
you
if you
see.
do not have that faith, you ask God for that
Exactly.
faith.
Just like the centurion, diba?
Yeah.
I believe, please help my unbelief.
Yeah.
Let the Lord shine the light and let Him work miracles, because miracles still do happen.
And you can sing. Open the... Mali tayo ng kida na.
Hindi tayo sing.
Dapat, kasi sinabi mo na to be open to God
akala ko kasi
dapat
miracles.
ang kanta doon, open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Ako naman kasi sinabi ko, miracles still do happen. Akala ko, pasok.
There can be miracles
when you believe.
Kaso hindi nga sila makapag-believe kasi wala pa yung faith. Kaya kailangan ng kanta muna is, open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Ang ganda-ganda ng open the eyes of my heart.
Ikaw lang,
so nagwo-worry ako na hindi natin matutuloy kung ano man yung pinaplano natin sa episode na to.
Oh, talaga?
Kasi sobrang distracted tayo. Sobrang worried ako na hindi tayo magbe-blend. I think the message of the Langga to me is, you know, there are people who are struggling. So if you are on the other side of the fence, you are not the warrior like in our relationship, then you have to reach out to those people and not belittle them as well. You have to be sensitive enough that every person has a different temperature, has a different way of reacting to life's challenges. So that if you are the one who's strong, then have the tenacity, have the initiative and the grace to reach out to them, to actually open the channel to help them, not to help them worry less in life. Diba? So with that, I think we should end this with the song.
Open the eyes of... Yun ba yun?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Proceed.
Okay, hindi.
1, 2, 3, go.
Ay, hindi talaga?
Go!
Seryoso ka?
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. I am so serious.
Oh.
Open the eyes of my heart.
I wanna see you. I wanna see you.
Sobrang nagwo-worry po siya.
Oo.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory.
Namnamin.
Oh, sorry. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy.
To see you high and lifted up,
shining in the light of your glory. Pour out the power, your eyes of love. Oh.
to see, sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy.
I wanna see
This is me, Jerk.
And this is Apple.
Always reminding you na palangga ka sa Diyos. Since di natin inayos yung kanta natin at hindi mo nakuha yung cue ko.
Kasi sa totoo lang.
Nagwo-worry ka pa rin.
Oo.
Nagwo-worry ka pa rin.
Nagwo-worry pa rin
Kaya
ako.
kailangan hindi tayo nagwo-worry kasi 2 years na natin ginagawa.
Uy,
dapat hindi ka na
3,
nahihiya. At saka tayo lang, wala naman tayong video, Langga.
Buti na
So dapat
walang
sa mga
video.
Langga, hindi tayo nahihiya. Pagka na-cue tayo.
Sorry.
Dapat nakafocus ka sa akin.
Sorry.
Dapat di ka nag-worry masyado.
Nakafocus kasi ako sa Diyos
I got you, Lord. I got you, Langga.
Kaya naman
Kaya kakantay natin to, di ba? Siyempre, padadala natin to ng kape. Pero kung gusto nyo kami padala ng kape, para padala namin ng kape, kung sino naman ang gumawa nitong karaoke na to, buymeacoffee.com/langga. buymeacoffee.com/LANGGA. Okay pa? Kakanta na tayo kasi wala na nagbibigay ng kape.
Here's a little song that I wrote. You might wanna sing it. No phone, no, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Be happy. In every life we have some trouble.
When you worry, make it double. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Can you whistle that? Galing.
Gusto mo lagyan ko pang vibrato eh.
Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry,
Don't worry, don't worry now. Be happy.
the landlord say
Your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, don't
Sounds family,
worry,
ah.
don't worry.
Be happy.
Legit, pinagdaanan po.
Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style.
Ain't got no gal to make you smile.
Okay lang yan.
Don't worry, Langga.
Okay lang
Don't
yan.
worry, Langga. Be happy.
Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. Don't
Huwag kang
worry.
ruminating.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be
Happy now. 사랑해요. Buy me a coffee. Don't worry.
.com/LANGGA